Sup YouTube, welcome back to another video documenting my journey to legend. In today's video, I'm running a pretty unconventional team, ABA weak to just about anything and everything. But this team gave me a lot of success. I managed to climb 150 points in ELO in just 3 sets, with the slight caveat that I was like in the bottom 2200. So your boy's not exactly doing the best this season. But let's get into the battles, and I just want to show why this team seemed to work. I took a page out of Henry's book, Home Slice Henry. Shout out the GOAT if he's watching. In one of his videos, he showed that Zapdos as a closer was pretty strong, and I'm still trying to make Dragonite work all the way up until Legend, and so far, so shikaka. Dragonite has been putting out absolutely zero work this entire season, and I'd like to believe that's part of the reason why I'm struggling so much. Hella copium. But honestly, I think it's just, it gets pretty well countered with, especially with the increase in Skarmory. There's a lot of Carbink, so it's just, I'm finding it incredibly lackluster. I did switch over to Dragon Breath, and from this first battle, you can probably tell I'm like gonna get my cheeks clapped. But what I should have done was, since I know I'm gonna lose this battle, I lost the lead, I lost the swap really hard. I should have just banked on the fact that they didn't have Ice Beam, and that would have been my win con. Had I no shielded, I would have been in a much better position because they got this crap in the back, the little Decidui. And if I was still up 2 shields, I would have cleaned house almost immediately. So this was like my mistake. Spoiler alert, you know, I'm gonna lose the first match. But like much of my other videos, I like starting out my shit on a loss. Again, I'm in the 2200s with this team. I did manage to climb 150 points. So if you're around this ELO range and you have access to these mons, I would recommend running this team. You could probably run something else in the lead, honestly. I'm just really hell-bent on making Dragonite work. I let that go through, and there's no chance in hell that I'm gonna flip this match. Thunder Shock is a legacy move. It will require an elite TM, especially in a Shadow, since they don't come with it. Here I go. Okay, no, this is the battle. I go for the extra. I'm still like on that Dragon Tail mindset where I can sneak in some moves, or like an additional fast move. So I should have probably thrown my move 1 before they got to their disarming voice. And as long as I get a shield here, that's fine. I'm gonna let Zapdos go down because I don't really need swap, is my thinking. I go for the Drill Peck. I don't think this will be enough, double type thick, and it's not, but they are forced to almost throw immediately. And at this point, I think I'm gonna come in with Whiscash and get a solid farm down on this thing, because nothing is gonna really hurt me. I believe they do get 1 final body slam off. Yeah, they get a final body slam, but this is fine. Whiscash is also a little thick boy, and I think they come in with another freaking Decidui. I don't know who popularized this team. Also, can somebody tell me what the fuck that fast move is? I have no idea. Is that Magical Leaf or is it Leafage? Magical Leaf is the one Celebi has, right? So I'm pretty sure it's Leafage, but I wasn't sure on the freaking timing. Like, I know it's a 2-turn move, but the animation of this move plus Fairy Wind just throw me the fuck off. I never know when to throw the move. If anybody has some tips and pointers, definitely let me know. I also included this match. Yeah, I'm ABA weak to Ice, I'm ABA weak to Rock, I'm ABA weak to a lot of things. But that's never gonna stop me from running shit teams. I included this match because there was an opportunity for me to win. A possible win condition that I failed to see until the very last second, because 9 times out of 10, my brain isn't functioning at peak human capacity. So here, you're gonna see I'm correctly shielding all of these Scalds. I'm at the back-to-back Drill Pecks if they decide to shield this. Honestly, if I win swap here, it doesn't really do anything for me. Dugong is still a nuisance. And you're gonna see that they have something in the back that they didn't really need swap. But right there, I should have waited for the next Ice Shard to come through. I shouldn't have thrown immediately. I would have survived the next Ice Shard. Had I stored that Thunderbolt, I would have more than KO'd that Dugong. I didn't need what's his name? Doompert. I didn't need Derp Knight at all. Like, basically I just sacrificed him, but I did need that energy stored on Zapdos. And unfortunately, because of that, my opponent also, as you're gonna see, waits a turn before okay, I don't tank this next X Scissor. Waits a turn. I go for the Skull just to guarantee, hopefully guarantee a debuff. I'm taking a, like, I already lost. I do get the debuff, but but I believe that they waited a turn to see the Mudshot animation come through. And so here I swap out to reset the debuff, and I probably should have thrown my Mud Bomb immediately, but it doesn't really matter. They could potentially go for the drill run. There's no prayer where another Mud Bomb KOs, so that was a GG's. Another core breaker in the lead, I swap into my soft counter, which is Whiscash, and they're staying in. Because I have it takes a turn to swap in, I know that I'm going to be able to throw my move in between their move. I don't know if I got the Skull debuff, and I let this go because I figure whatever's going to come in is going to hard counter me or hard wall me, and they do come in with Jelly, which isn't terrible. I'm able to get both of these moves off. I don't know if I'm going to swap out or let myself get farmed. I don't even think I can, but they probably are going to farm me down. I do manage to get to another Mud Bomb, which is great. And I believe, okay, I do swap out, and I don't know what happened to them. I think they must have overtapped. I think I would have let Dragonite go down anyway and saved 2 shields for Zapdos. So I think maybe they just panicked and you know, they lost all that energy. It happens to me a lot, and I think at this point I'm just gonna let Dragonite go down. So regardless if they got a Shadow Ball off or not, I don't believe a Shadow Ball KOs from full health. I think it leaves you with like maybe 5 damage off. Again, I think they've lagged there. This wouldn't have turned out that differently. They're gonna shield all these moves. I'm gonna respect the Stone Edge by catching it on Whiscash. They do have Stone, obviously they showed Stone Edge on Dragonite. And here I think I pause a turn. Yeah, I pause a turn to just make sure they don't catch my Drill Peck. Because even though Skarmory is like walled by Zapdos, I don't exactly want to catch a move. I know I'm gonna have to eat a move here, but Zapdos is a bit frail if you haven't noticed already, which is why I swapped it to the back. Here I build up as much energy as I can. Initially I was running Zapdos in the lead, and then I just kept seeing that in the 2 shields it does so poorly, but in the back up shields Zapdos can go to town, as a great king once said. And Dragonite in the lead is for the most part neutral. You're gonna see this charge bug. Some people have baited in the past, which is why I let this move through. It doesn't really matter, but it doesn't KO. Even from a good charge bug or an attack weighted charge bug, you're gonna survive a discharge. Just make sure you get your Dragon Claw off, you know, don't be a scrub like me. And here I'm just gonna come in with Whiscash, get as much farm as I can. They only have 1 Volt Switch worth of damage, so they're only gonna make 1 move. And I figure, you know, they probably have a response to Whiscash, but I don't know if they have a response to Zapdos. So you see me do 1 Mudshot, then come in immediately. They have a Whiscash in the back. That's not exactly a response. All I have to do is you're going to see Whiscash puts in a lot of work against Jellicent. I just need to make sure I shield these Scalds, because Zapdos cannot, what's it called? Damn, I just like spaced out on the word. It can't tank a Scald, there we go. Again, like I said, my brain doesn't usually work all that well. Plus I'm already like a bunch of battles in. The only reason I didn't keep climbing with this team was because I ran out of battles. I do correctly shield all the Scalds. Doesn't really matter if they get the debuff. I think this should still KO. I'm at the back-to-back. They're gonna shield. I'm gonna CMP tie with them here, which is absolutely crucial. Because I wasn't sure after that debuff if it would KO, and I think it might not have. But I think they got the debuff. I throw immediately just to not allow them, like I wasn't gonna be able to farm down Whiscash. And here I just need to make sure that I throw on proper timing. And also I'm trying to force them to throw. Like I want them to dump energy so that Zapdos doesn't have to tank a Shadow Ball. You see my switch timer is coming up. I'm cognizant of that, and I'm gonna come in and do something risky. I do 1 for good timing and then throw the move. The reason I did 1 was I wasn't sure if that was Drill Peck range, which it is, but on the off chance that if they threw a fast move and I was able to get to that Thunderbolt, then I would have assured the KO. But there, you saw that I was able to KO with the Drill Peck, so no harm, no foul. Dragon Breath is obviously a little bit easier in this match because it allows you to get the move off first, and I have no plans of, never mind, as soon as I say that I was like, watch me put up a shield. I just want to play out the ones with Poliwrath. I know I'm going to outpace regardless, which is one of the benefits of having Dragon Breath. I think if you're going to run Dragonite, you definitely want Dragon Breath in this meta. Dragon Tail was putting in a lot of work, but it just wasn't doing as much as I had hoped. Here I come in with Whiscash because I'm hoping that I can farm it down, and I'm noticing that I'm not going to be able to, so I'm going to tank a Icy Wind. That's fine. I'm going to see what comes in, and if the matchup is dominant, which it isn't, I'm just going to immediately swap in with Zapdos. I think I waited a turn there. I'm not entirely sure, but I do knock the Skarmory out of the sky. They had Charge-a-Bug, so ideally they should have swapped in. I think what happened was they panicked, and then they waited too long, and they decided that it was probably easier to just come in with, to just stay in with Skarmory. So I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Regardless, we take that game, and so far, so good. You can see I climbed up in Elo. If you're enjoying the battle so far, definitely leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. Again, with Jelly, for the most part, I'm gonna end up just sacking Dragonite if it's a matchup where I know that I can take a shield. Because again, Zapdos with shields up is gonna go to town, at least is my hope. And for the most part, it did work. If you follow Jamie, then you know that a lot of people tend to bait Shadows, especially Dragonite, since it can't really tank anything. That resisted move did a lot of damage. They swap out into Vig. I'm gonna go for the Drill Peck, and then I'm gonna stay in and CMP tie with their next move to force them to use their last shield, so that at least Whiscash is up a shield. So I know they're gonna bait. Zapdos again isn't the thickest boy in the world. You can tell he's he lacks a little bit of nutrition. Could use a little hamburgers in his diet, if you ask me. And now I'm just gonna wait to see what comes in. I think it's a Charge-a-Bug. Yes, it is. So I do. Oh, never mind. I throw the move just to get a shield from them, because the Drill Peck is gonna hurt. They're at 2. I'm gonna do 1, then swap out to tank the Volt Switch on Whiscash. And at this point, I'm looking pretty good. I just have to watch out for a catch, which they don't make. They try. I probably could have thrown on slightly better timing there, but they still get 1 Hex in regardless. And here, I'm gonna shield this move because a Shadow Ball would do more damage. However, they bait, even though they're not gonna make it to another move. And I go for the extra because I do lose CMP. I need as much energy as I can. I know I tank another X-Scissor, and I'm 1 away from the next one. I believe there's still either 1 or 2 away from the next move, and this just seals the deal. I'm able to KO with the Scald, and we managed to come back from a pretty dicey matchup. I'm running 2 really glassy Mons, so there's not a lot of bulk here. If you put this team into PV Poke, it's double Fs in the first 2 categories, and the only thing it's got going for itself is, I think, coverage? No, consistency. It's consistently bad, with like a mediocre C grade, I believe is what it is. I don't have to respect the move from Whiscash, so I do go for the CMP, and this is how much bulk Zapdos has. None of the bulk. I wait till the last possible second, which is also when I get to the Thunderbolt, just to force a shield or to force the KO. Clearly the better decision was to come in with Whiscash. But again, your boy's a scrub. Your boy doesn't know how to play this game. So for the most part, he always ends up making the stupid decision. And does it help me out? We'll see. Not exactly, but it doesn't like... Obviously, if I had Zapdos in the back, this would be a slightly better matchup because a Surf does do a lot. But here I just have to shield a Shadow Ball, which I correctly do. Thank God. They full sent the testes, and I wasn't. I didn't get hit in the face with them. So now I just need to go for straight Mud Bombs. A Shadow Ball doesn't KO, but you'd rather shield a Shadow Ball than shield a bunch of Surfs. Your boy has learned how to shield since the first time playing his GBL battles. And here I'm just gonna, they've built up to the back-to-back. If they full send the balls, which they do, we gobble them right up, pause. And here they're not gonna make it to back-to-back moves. We make it to the Mud Bomb, and we manage to take that game. So again, Dragonite in the lead is working a lot better for me versus in the back. And then Zapdos in the back is also cleaning up house pretty well. This is another matchup where Dragon Breath does you more favors because you're able to throw in between their fast move, which I do not, like a freaking bozo. Shout out Mr. Fleek for teaching me to throw in alignment. And I already got a shield from them. I don't want to stay in. The only reason I shield here is because even though everything's resisted, 1, they're not swapping out, but 2, a dig does actually put in a lot of work against Zapdos. So I'm going to CMP on what I believed when I believed they would throw, which was the aerial ace. I'm going to respect it since they're not swapping out. Again, Zapdos incredibly frail. I'm going to throw one before and wait for their fast move to come through so that they can't catch the Drill Peck. And they do come into a Charge-a-Bug. I'm noticing that my switch timer is about to be up. So I'm going to swap into Whiscash and just see what they have in the back. They are probably going to get 2 X-Scissors off. That's fine. I'm just going to keep over farming because, one, I lose CMP, which I didn't know. But I guess, I don't know. There's probably like a cat and a bug joke in there somewhere that I'm not brilliant enough to make. Okay, so we go for the Mud Bomb since they are in Mud Bomb range. And now I'm just hoping that there's something that can get Kurused by Whiscash in the back. It's a Mandy, which isn't the best, especially considering that my switch timer isn't up. Luckily for me, and unluckily for me, I throw like a bozo, so I throw an alignment. But they do allow me to get a Scald off. And I'm just going to stay in. I need to force them to dump some of this energy. And then what I'm going to do, what I'm thinking about doing, is coming in with Zapdos, hoping they try to throw on good timing. So I throw a Thunder Shock, and then maybe catch on Dragonite. It ends up working out, thankfully. They don't undercharge this, and even if they did, I'm pretty sure that shit would have KO'd a dozen Dragonites. And I still throw on good timing, because I knew they weren't at the move, but also because I wasn't sure if a Drill Peck KO'd. Clearly, you know, Drill Pecks KOing just about anything has been a common theme here. So, what do I do against a fucking Steelix? We saw I got my cheeks clapped by a Dugong. Am I gonna get my cheeks clapped again by a Steelix? We shall see. Like I said before, Jelly into Whiscash isn't the worst matchup in the world, as long as you correctly shield Shadow Balls. Nobody wants to shield a Mud Bomb. Nobody. It sucks. Even though it got buffed, it's still not the greatest move. And again, I'm just going for throwing on proper timing. If they throw their move on alignment like a bozo, that's fine by me. But I am going to double shield. I think they threw on alignment right there, right? They did two hexes. They full send the Tasties. I guess I'm going to save a shield. All I need is their second shield. Can I get their second shield? I do. And I don't know what happened there. Maybe they were looking for the catch, but I managed to get to the Mud Bomb and KO them. And now I'm going to come back in with Dragonite because I don't see them swapping out of Steelix. Also, in the beginning of this match, there was like some like animation glitches, bugs. I didn't see the second Dragon Tail come through, but clearly they had it because they only needed 2 to get to the what's that move called? To the Breaking Swipe. And now, because they're rocking a aerial ace or a air slash Mandy, I'm able to come in with Zapdos. And we already know that like Zapdos isn't the bulkiest, but I'm sure it can tank 1 Foul Play or 1 Dark Pulse. They go for the aerial ace, probably as a bit of BM, and we managed to take this game. So again, this team, if you're gonna use it, one is ABA. So you have to realize that if you lose lead like this, either you sack 1 Mon or you play around the Dance of Death like we did in that last battle to come back from a Steelix lead. Ideally, that's what I should have done in the Dugong lead, even though I did come in with my hard swap. But again, you want Dugong on Dragonite. Like, it's just such an oppressive matchup. But here, I'm perfectly content with taking a shield. That's fine by me. And I'm just going to come in with Whiscash, farm up as much energy as I can before sending off a Scald. And for the most part, I think I'm going to try this team again. This team has been putting in a lot of work in the 3 sets I was able to play with it. They come in with a Charizard, which is not a response to the Daddy Cash. But I didn't realize that a Scald doesn't KO. Out here, I was like, okay, 1, I got the debuff, and 2, I think this is a Dragon Claw, which it is. So I'm just going to farm this thing down. And if they come back in with the Charge-a-Bug, again, I lose CMP. So I'm going to throw 1 and then the move. What do they come in with? They do come in with the Charge-a-Bug. I don't know why I baited. This was my lose condition. I get that I'm going to be able to get to a Scald here. So maybe it was the optimal play, but I wasn't too certain at the time. And then what do they have in the back? A freaking Carbink. I'm going to get this move off. I'm going to hope I get the debuff. Even if I don't, I need to swap into Zapdos. Zapdos up 2 shields. Can he go to town? Yes, we managed to reach the Thunderbolt. But does this KO the freaking Stinky Binky? Yes, it does. And we managed to take that freaking game. I was so hyped. We end off in a 5-0 and we managed to climb back up. just below the 2400s. I'm really hoping I can use this team to hit veteran. As you can see, I'm really struggling to make D-Knight work. I've also just been struggling this season. Let me know if you guys have. I feel like this season has been a lot more difficult than previous seasons. Normally around this time, I'm already around like expert, you know, not to toot my own horn. But like, clearly I'm still freaking ace and struggling. So maybe I'm just washed, you know, maybe I'm just not long for this world, but who knows. I'm gonna try this team again. I hope you guys do too. And I'll catch you in the next video. Oh, short's coming soon. Peace.